Thank you everyone for being here. So today we're going to talk about this week's Shreem Brzee Powertimes, and we'll just get right into it. I will also be doing some answering your questions at the end, so feel free to accumulate those for when I get to that. And I am going to be doing a technique that you can use using the sound Brzee to remove karma, because based on our power times this week, you're going to want to do that. So let's get right into it. I am going to share a screen here. You should be able to see that and still hear me. All right, so welcome to this week's Power Times for Shreem Brzee. We are still in the waning phase of the moon, and what that means is it's an ideal time to be letting go and releasing karmic patterns, situations in your life that don't serve you, aspects of your habits that don't serve you, thoughts that don't serve you, all these things that we're just willing to and wanting to release. So it's great to be mindful of that which you want to let go of so that it happens easier and be a very willing participant in this. We are shifting later this week when we get to the new moon to the opposite side, to the waxing phase, but we'll get to that next week. So on Tuesday, it's actually Monday night in the US, and it goes through Tuesday, and then Tuesday morning is when we have the 11th moon for Vishnu, and Vishnu is the consort of Lakshmi or Shreem Brzee, and he gives us the absolute ability to sustain life on earth, right? Our ability through health and wealth and happiness. So he can provide this very stable environment. And in order to call upon him, you can chant Om Namo Narayanaya. That is one of the mantras that Dr. Pillai has given for Vishnu. And then you could, of course, also chant Shreem Brzee. It's an ideal time to be asking for and focusing on whatever type of wealth blessing you'd like to bring into your life. Then we have the 13th moon that happens on, the 1st, which is a Wednesday. Now it happens during midday, which is perfect because the whole day or the whole 24 hours of the 13th phase of the moon is considered pradosham or karma clearing. However, the hour to an hour and a half before sunset is the ideal time. It's when the kind of absolute time of the karma clearing can take place. And for this technique, you want to do Brzee, just the chant Brzee, or Shreem Brzee, or Brzee at the throat and touching the throat. Dr. Pillai gave this as a technique. And then I'm also going to teach at the end of this a guided technique that you can be doing, a ritual that you can do. So stay tuned for that. And remember, karma clearing is so important because it is that gives room for our abundance to come through. If we're holding on to scarcity consciousness or thoughts that we aren't good enough or can't or shouldn't be receiving wealth, then that wealth is going to be blocked. So continuously chanting Shreem Brzee or Brzee can help to unravel those constraints, that karma, the habits that we've created that will allow the blessings to come through. So pradoshams or karma clearing is so important for that reason. Our mindset is dictating everything that occurs in our life. I've always said, if you want to know what your karma is, look around. It is your life. It is your finances. It is your relationships. It is your health. It is where you live. It's what car you drive, your bank account, right? All of those are it's your karma. It's what's been created up until now. It's been created through past lives. It's been created through this life, your thought process, your ancestors, your astrology, the people you associate with. All of those things create our karmic circumstance. And that is what we want to become aware of and change in order to chart a new life for ourselves, chart a new destiny. And that is what Dr. Pillai's teachings are all about, being able to create and recreate your destiny, your dreams, and have them not just be based on what you thought of before or what you created before and what has accumulated up until now. that we do have the ability to change and shift, and these techniques will help us do that. So I will teach that technique at the end. So Friday is the new moon. I mentioned when we were talking about karma clearing, the ancestors are influencing our mindset. They're influencing how we think, what we think about. Why? Because they're in our DNA, right? They're literally in our bodies, but they're also spiritually coming to us. And Dr. Pillai calls this soul genetics. Our ancestors are speaking to us all the time, influencing us with their thoughts and their desires. And what we want to do is help them move on to higher realms so that they aren't stuck in these in-between states, and that they can then bless us abundantly. Their blessings are so powerful. They're the most powerful thing we can receive. In fact, Dr. Pillai says even the Siddhas will go and do ancestor offerings to receive the blessings from their ancestors. That's how powerful ancestor blessings can be. So we want those. We want those blessings. We want to help release our ancestors up into higher realms of existence so that they don't have unfulfilled desires and hanging around kind of the earth plane. There are different dimensions. And how do you do that? You do that by doing tarpanam, or ancestor offerings. There are other videos on how to do that. But real quickly, you basically put a little bit of this substance on the palm of your hand. It's a rice powder or flour or just plain rice, raw, black sesame seeds, and a coin of whatever denomination. And you offer it up and you make a sincere prayer to them to please move on to take this nourishment, and then please move on to higher realms, move into the light. And then when you're there, please bless me and my family, or whoever you want to say. That's the quick version of it, but there's videos with kind of more detail. But so you want to be able to do that, and you do it during daylight hours, not during sunset or night in your time zone. And that's the best thing you can possibly do on a new moon. So you don't want to miss this. Lots of good power times this week. And now we also have a double Shreem Brzee Powertime on Friday. So we have new moon on Friday, and we also have Friday itself is a power Shreem Brzee, because the planet Venus is the planet of prosperity, and then Goddess Lakshmi is the overlord of that planet. Venus rules all day on Friday. And then we have a very special time. It's called the Anarada Star Day. So Anarada there's in Vedic astrology, there's 27 different types of stars. I'm not going to get into all the details, but everyone's born on a star. You're born on a star. I was born on a star. Everyone has a star. And so Vishwamitra and Lakshmi just so happen to have the same birth star, and it is Anarada. And this is a wonderful time to honor them, because their energy is more present. So that is where you want to have their blessings. I'm going to go back just a little bit because, oops. This was a picture of Vishwamitra. I didn't mention it earlier, but so here you see the picture of him all decorated. And so you know, that's who he is. And so when Anarada Star comes, you can honor him. We also have a little statue of him that you can purchase. And hopefully maybe you have one already and you can use that. So on this day, you'll definitely want to do a little bit more, right? Like, so maybe 1,008 Shreem Brzees. You want to hydrate your statue or your yantras or anything that you have, if you have them, and just spend a little extra time today focusing in on your practice. And that's all the power times we have for the week. And those are a lot. Those are really good ones. Now here's the free stuff we have, and that is our global Shreem Brzee chanting call, which happens 8 a.m. Pacific time every Friday on the Shreem Brzee YouTube channel. So you want to go there. And then power time updates. This time fluctuates, so just stay tuned. It's somewhere between 10:30 a.m. and noon Pacific time every Sunday. But we'd love to have you join us, and of course, submit any questions that you have so we can assist you on your journey. So the other really great things that we do at Pillai Center for Shreem Brzee is that we have these monthly and weekly Shreem Brzee events that you can attend. And every Friday, I mentioned how Friday is important for Lakshmi. Every Friday, we have a Shreem Brzee Puja, or light and sound offering, that is performed by Priest Premraj. You can watch it and participate. And then every full moon, we have a guided meditation with one of Dr. Pillai's meditations, followed by a Shreem Brzee Fire Lab with Priest Premraj. And those are really powerful because you're really together with your community for at least 2 hours, probably 2.5 hours on those full moons. And that's when they really, really matter. And you can join that with the link below this video or in our, depending on what you're looking, where you are, it's either in our bio or below these videos. So before we get to questions, think of your questions, but I'm also going to do the guided technique before we get to your questions. So as I mentioned, this week is really powerful for karma removal. And this is a statue of Vishwamitra. He's so beautiful. And he was created, this statue was created, custom created from the statue that I showed you on the screen, which is from his temple in Vijayapati. I have to tell you, my experience there was one of the most amazing things ever, being in that temple. So Dr. Pillai has said that Vishwamitra meditated for 1,200 to 1,500 years to create, or to have the stream, to have Brzee mantra come to him. And then Vishwamitra, through a Nadi reading, invited Dr. Pillai to bring the Brzee to the world. And so, and then Dr. Pillai added Shreem to Brzee, and here we have the birth of Shreem Brzee. And that's why you're here, and that's why you're practicing. But what's important, one of the important aspects is that Brzee can help remove karma. You might have heard of other techniques that Dr. Pillai teaches, but how convenient that one amazing word can do so much for us. And we want to use them during these power times to accelerate the results of our practice. So on days that are 13th moons, it's ideal to chant Brzee or Shreem Brzee at the throat. And Dr. Pillai simply gave the technique to chant, to touch the throat or focus on the throat and chant Shreem Brzee. So let's do that now. If you can, close your eyes. If not, just listen. Focus here. These techniques are for karma removal specifically. So when karma removal days come along, you want to use these particular techniques for removing the stubborn karma that is keeping you and all of us from accelerating in our goals and our dreams. The first is to place your attention at the throat chakra. There's a junction right in the center of the throat, around what Dr. Pillai has mentioned is like the Adam's apple. So focus here, and even touch it, and chant Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. You can, if you'd like, imagine what type of karma or aspects of your life that you'd like to dissolve, things that are holding you back, whether they be situations, relationships, aspects about yourself, persistent thoughts. Think of them being completely dissolved. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee is removing the karma. Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. Ask Brzee to specifically go into the throat, throughout the body, and dissolve karmic patterns holding you back from succeeding and accomplishing your goals. Now we'll chant just Brzee at the throat. Brzee, 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 Brzee is dissolving the karma, the karmic patterns, the negative thoughts, that which is holding you back from your success and your goals. Brzee, 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 Brzee. Whenever you have a negative thought, think Brzee. Brzee, 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 Brzee. Remove anything that is not truly abundant. Brzee, Brzee, Brzee. Brzee removes scarcity of all kinds. Brzee, 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 Brzee. Fill us, our entire bodies, with your abundant, beautiful nature. Remove all scarcity from our bodies, our minds, our consciousness. Brzee, 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 Brzee. And now make your final prayer to remove scarcity consciousness, negative thoughts, unharmonious relationships, harmful situations, poor decisions, bad habits, whatever doesn't serve you. We're asking Brzee to remove. Make your final prayer. And having Brzee remove all that which is not serving you. We ask for Brzee's compassion and love and help in the situation. So now that you did the meditation and the chanting at the throat, now we're going to use an object. And Dr. Pillai calls these types of rituals where we're using an item to kind of sacrifice our karma or take on our karma. And so you can use a lime, lemon, coconut, or pumpkin. And so I happen to have a lime and a pumpkin here. And because it's kind of pumpkin season in the US, this is a great time to use pumpkins because they are very powerful. We don't get them all year round. So, but you always have a lime or lemon and usually a coconut. So let's use the pumpkin since it's pumpkin season. So you take, and I actually sometimes use things in both my hands. This coloring is weird in my video. Sorry about that. So you take the object in your right hand and you place it in the areas that are accumulate karma. And that is certainly the throat. We already walked through that meditation. But you also have your shoulders, you have your heart center, you have your eyes, you have around your face, your head. You have around your head, so you can kind of have the object go around the head. And remember, and you can even have it touch your head, and then touching the shoulders, touching your heart center. If you have any other like places, maybe you have like a bad elbow or back or something like that, you can roll the object anywhere on the body that you feel has something wrong with it. Karmic accumulation. So you do chanting Brzee. So we'll just do this. Take it in your right hand. Brzee, 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 Brzee. If you have another object, you can do the same. Or you can also have, if you have a couple different items, you can do one for relationship karma, one for financial karma, one for health karma. But if you just have one, that's fine. Just continue to chant Brzee. And as you're doing this, just think of what you'd like to have removed. So Brzee, we're asking you to remove financial karma. Brzee, we're asking you to remove bad relationship karma. Brzee, we're asking you to remove bad money karma. Brzee, we're asking you to remove bad health karma. Brzee, we're asking you to remove our negative thoughts. Brzee, we're asking you to remove our self-defeating thoughts and actions. Brzee, we're asking you to remove all things in our life that don't serve us for our highest good and our success. Brzee, we're asking you to place our karmic patterns into this object and absorb them from our body, mind, and spirit, and allow us to be free of these karmic patterns. We're asking us to renew us, Brzee. Brzee, 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 Brzee. Brzee, 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 Brzee. Thank you, Brzee, for removing our karma, placing it into this object. Om Brzee, Om Brzee. So once you're complete, now you want to take this item, and if it's a lime or lemon, you will cut it and throw it away, and then wash anything that's been used. I keep a separate knife and cutting board in my bathroom specifically for this purpose, because I don't want to use the items that are in the kitchen that we cook with. So I suggest that, having something separate. You can also have a bowl of limes or lemons in your house to remind you to always just have one on hand. Do one every day. You can do this every day, but specifically, you definitely want to do it on the 13th moons, and that's coming up this week, which is why I'm giving you this technique. So for sure, do that. And if you have access to pumpkins, you'll definitely want to do it with a pumpkin. Same situation. Brzee, 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 Brzee. Use the pumpkin. Coconuts are also very powerful. So when Dr. Pillai taught me this 20 years ago, I thought it was just absolutely crazy. And then when I started doing it, I realized how amazing it felt afterwards. So if this sounds crazy to you, my invitation is just give it a try and see what you feel. I have a funny story. This guy that I was dating, I was telling him, oh, just do this thing. Like, here's a lime, a coconut. He was like, no. He goes to India. Miraculously, he goes to India. And one of the things we do in the group with Pillai Center is we broke like 9 coconuts. He goes and he breaks these coconuts. He comes back and goes, that was amazing. I feel great. And I was like, yeah, you could have done that a year ago, but you decided it was too weird for you. So don't wait. Just give it a try. It is weird. It does look crazy, and it also sounds crazy, but see how you feel. That's the end result, right? Like, is it working? Then fantastic. This is a secret technique that Dr. Pillai has brought from India that helps us to transform and get over and destroy karmic are holding us back. And that's what we want, right? We want to be able to create an abundant life. And if we can do these little crazy tools every once in a while, especially during power times, then that is an immense benefit and huge blessing that we get to have these tools, from these secret, techniques from India. So there you have it. That is the karma busting technique. I gave you the real quick version of the Tarpanam that you'll want to do on the new moon. And those are the techniques and meditations that I wanted to give. So if there are any questions, I will take them now. Thank you, Evelyn. I know this link unfortunately wasn't listed until just right before I went live. So I apologize that the team must have accidentally done that. Any questions? Someone's asking, what is this post about? This post is about Shreem Brzee, the wealth mantra, and the power times that we use throughout the week to help accelerate our results. Any other questions? Doesn't look like we have too many happening today. So yeah, lots of really good things happening this week. We definitely want to kind of be in this mode of transformation, of letting go, leading up to the new moon. And then after the new moon, we move into the waxing phase. So on Saturday, we move into the waxing phase of the moon. So it's a growth period. And then we'll be moving towards the full moon, which happens on December 17th. So we get lots of great blessings leading up to the full moon as well. If I'm busy, can I keep chanting while walking, working, and driving? Absolutely. It's one of my favorite things to do. And a special tip that I typically do is if I have this triggered now, and it took practice. But if you are waiting or just like something is, you realize, oh, there's time going by and I'm wasting my time, start chanting. Or maybe like Dr. Pillai said this, maybe like someone's talking a lot and you have to kind of be there to not be rude, but you really don't feel like it's good use of your time, start chanting. You can still listen, but you'll be chanting also. So at least you're offsetting kind of like what might be like feel like wasteful. The second part of the question is it equally effective? It's not as effective as sitting in meditation and going deep into the mantra. When you're sitting in meditation, you're clearing your mind and you're kind of dropping deeper into the experience of the meditation. That is most useful. But we can't be sitting in meditation all the time. So the best use of what Dr. Pillai would call the mundane time, your active time, would be to also be chanting. He's even said that if you could have a conversation and still just have this mantra going continually, if you practice enough, you'll continually have the mantra going in your mind and in your consciousness and throughout your body. And that is ideal because now you're continually rejuvenating and bringing Shreem Brzee into your daily life. That's what I call like Shreem Brzee lifestyle, right? Have the mantra playing in the background. Have this be a part of your practice where you're automatically switching to chanting versus doing mundane tasks without chanting. You're maybe waiting on the phone, chant or write Shreem Brzee. Whenever you get a chance, fill your space, your time, your mind, writing on things with Shreem Brzee. It's going to be a practice that helps set you on that where it becomes more of a habit. So you definitely want to do that. Is it okay to say while in the shower? Absolutely. Definitely say it when you're in the shower. In fact, chanting in general, specifically chanting Shreem Brzee in the shower is so ideal because the shower is cleansing us. So water hydrates, which means it brings life to ourselves. So Dr. Pillai talks about hydrating your statue or your yantra. In a shower, you're hydrating yourself. You're bringing life to. Not only are you cleaning the physical dirt off your body, you're cleaning your aura, right? You're doing a cleanse. Dr. Pillai has said that the siddhas would take 5 showers a day at least. So it is a cleansing experience for the mind, body, and the soul. So yes, you should be chanting mantras in the shower all the time, every day, and taking several showers if you can. How can we protect ourselves from negative dreams? Can we wear some black thread or something? Have you tried using Shreem Brzee or playing Shreem Brzee overnight in your room? Try that. If you're having really strong negative influences, you might want to try a different mantra. It's called Sharaba, and we have that at Pillai Center. I'll just type it in so you know how to say it or how to spell it. If you search, it's like $2, I think, to buy the whole audio track, or if you search online for in Pillai Center, I think we have one up where Dr. Pillai is chanting Sharaba. You want to try that if you have really, definitely some negative influences happening in your life. But keep Shreem Brzee playing 24/7. See how that works for you. If you're getting some relief, and if not, then you can kind of go to like perhaps stronger measures. As far as the black thread, that is something. If somebody, a priest or a powerful person who ties mantras into the thread, and that's something you can wear. Those are definitely great for protection too. Question is, there is something off with mantra because I was manifesting, but now at least a few years, it is not strong. It weakened and it does not produce. So everyone has a unique karmic pattern, right? We talked about karma today a lot, and we are all unique beings, right? We're all not created the same. We come in with a different astrology, different ancestry, different current life situations, and that all affects how we will move forward with everything, how success will play out, how failure will play out, which is why we do these karma removal techniques in order to kind of get a hold on that. So if you were first working, if Shreem Brzee was first working for you, things could have happened, like a planet could have shifted in your chart, and now you're going through a patch that is going to be a little more challenging. Maybe you have to do a little more practice. Maybe you have to do some remedies for planets. So there's a variety of things that could be playing into why you manifest sometimes and why you don't manifest other times. There could be, surrounding yourself with negative people that are affecting your mindset. So it's not just the mantra, it's other factors, but we want to continue to chant the mantra. And when you chant the mantra with faith and love and dedication, then we do have better effect for that because we're bringing that faith to it. Dr. Pillai talks about, you could take an aspirin, it's still going to work for you. But if you know the placebo effect, people could take a sugar pill and it would have the same effect because they mentally are preparing and having that happen for them. So we get both, right? So that's why we want to do both. Take the mantra because by itself it'll work, but when we do it with our faith, it has even more power. So if you're feeling like, this isn't working for you, maybe just take a break, maybe try a different mantra, right? I don't want you to do something just to do it because, someone said to. If you need to take a breather and do another mantra or try something new, and then see what works better for you. Everyone is different. Everyone is different. And there's no kind of set rule, but we do give set types of methodologies to use that will work in general for most people. But if you want to get really specific, you want to get an astrology reading, find out what planets are impacting you and which planets and mantras and archetypes would help you best right now. Why are fire labs so powerful? Well, they combine different aspects of techniques that accelerate a result, that can accelerate a result. And they were created thousands of years ago. Many different cultures around the world have used fire ceremony in their spiritual practice. And we're familiar with the ones that Dr. Pillai has taught us about, which are from the Vedic and Hindu tradition. And those alone are thousands of years old. They were constructed like a machine, in a sense that there's all these different working components that bring the gods and God and humans together for an interaction that can produce a result. And they're meant to be used for the good of all, not just being selfish. So as far as why, I don't know how else to explain it, but they are a divine technology and they give us access to these divine beings in a way that is just unlike anything else. And so I love fire labs. I love our full moon fire labs. If you're not part of that, I invite you to join Wealth Powertim Events so that you can participate as well. If you have a fire lab and you're joining together in community with more people, you're then bringing that energy, which I think accelerates it. So Dr. Pillai says, when we join in community, we multiply the blessings dependent upon how many people are there. So if 100 people are attending, now we've just multiplied it 100 times. If we're doing it during a power time, like the full moon, we've multiplied it even more. So we're just compounding these benefits and blessings when we do fire labs, because fire labs will accelerate the results. Doing it during a power time will accelerate the results, and doing it with other people will accelerate results. So that's why Pillai Center has combined these these perfect combinations of everything to bring you what we feel is the most powerful way to join together. Can you teach us how to do a fire lab at our home? Not yet, but we are going to create that training program. I know a lot of people are interested, so we have it for next year. We'll be creating that training program, so stay tuned. Full moons are the best. Yes, they are. They're great. I mean, all the other moon phases and different fire labs throughout the month are fantastic. I personally just really love full moons because the energy is so abundant. It's so great. Any other questions? Well, I hope you all have a great understanding of this week ahead. While we're here, I'll do a quick kind of overview of the month. Basically, this month we have the new moon that I mentioned on Friday, and then in 2 weeks we have the full moon, December 17th, which goes through the 18th. It starts on the evening of the 17th. So that 17th to 18th, you want to kind of block it off to make sure that you do a special meditation that evening and through Saturday, the 18th. We have another 11th moon on the 29th and a 13th moon again on the 31st. So we have 2 more 11th moons and two full Pradoshams, or 13th moons. And it typically happens that way every month, right? So there's a waning and waxing phase. So those are the highlights of some additional power times we're going to be looking forward to. We also have the winter solstice, which is a great, powerful time. We have Christmas, which is a wonderful time. So these are holy days, right? The holiday season, the holy days are starting. And let's use and benefit from all this wonderful energy that is being created. And we are going to be doing a webinar on the full moon on how to Shreem Brzee your holidays. So stay tuned for that. We'll send out some info. Anything about the solar eclipse? Yeah, I am not well versed in solar eclipses. I know we had one, and it was supposed to be something that happened once every 600 years, but I don't really know a whole lot about it. So I think there's more coming up, but again, I'm sorry, I am not your solar eclipse person. Thank you for the question, Vashi. Any other questions before we wrap up? So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell so you're notified when we go live. This helps you to stay in touch with everything that we do here at Shreem Brzee Official. Is Dr. Pillai going to speak for us soon? He is, as a matter of fact. Thank you for asking. There is a webinar on December 5th. It's 1 week from today. And he will be hosting that. He'll be doing that webinar to teach us a little bit about how to use an archetype and your astrology to get what you want, right? Like to create the life that you want. And specifically for the new year, we're doing this as a webinar to help people understand how you can construct your daily practice and what you want to create in the new year through the use of mantras and archetypes in astrology. The divine technology. Yeah, December 5th. And I think it's 11 a.m. Pacific time. It'll be on Pillai Center YouTube channel. And there is a page somewhere floating around that we sent out where you can get a reminder if you like. So yeah, you'll be with us. Look forward to that. And then I will host the December 18th webinar for Shreem Brzee your holidays. All right, folks, so we are going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you so much for being here. We wish you a powerful and wonderful Shreem Brzee week We hope that this has been useful. And if it has, please tell us below. Post a comment, share, like, tell a friend. We love to help us spread the word on Shreem Brzee. Thank you all so much.